Welcome back to Mental Models Daily, where we explore one mental model each day to help you elevate your daily decision-making. Today, we're examining a critical concept in business and relationships. Churn, the natural process of losing customers, users, or connections over time. Churn is like water, slowly draining from a bucket with holes. Even as you add new water, some is constantly flowing out. This model helps us understand the natural attrition that occurs in any system, whether it's customers leaving a service, employees departing a company, or friends drifting apart. What makes churn particularly interesting is that it's not just about the loss itself, but about understanding the balance between retention and acquisition, keeping your bucket fuller than it's draining. A fascinating historical example of managing churn comes from the Pullman Palace Car Company in the 1870s. George Pullman faced a unique challenge. Wealthy trained passengers would often try his luxury sleeping cars once, but not return, leading to high customer churn. His innovative solution was to hire recently freed slaves as porters, training them to provide exceptional personalized service that went far beyond basic amenities. These Pullman porters became legendary for their attention to detail, remembering passengers' names, preferences, and habits across multiple journeys. This personal touch transformed one-time travelers into loyal customers, dramatically reducing churn rates. The strategy was so successful that Pullman Porter became synonymous with premium service, and the company dominated railway luxury travel for over 100 years. In the modern business world, Calendly offers an illuminating example of innovative churn management. While most scheduling software companies focus on adding new features to retain users, Calendly discovered that complexity itself was driving churn. They analyzed user behavior and found that customers who used more than 60% of their features were actually more likely to leave. They were getting overwhelmed. Instead of adding more features, they invested in simplification and user education. They created feature playlists, curated sets of features matched to specific user needs, and proactively guided users to simpler solutions when they showed signs of feature fatigue. It's like having a smart bucket that helps its contents settle comfortably rather than splashing around. This counterintuitive approach of less is more helped them achieve one of the lowest churn rates in their industry. So how can we apply the concept of churn in our daily lives? First, practice what I call relationship temperature checking. Regularly assess your professional and personal relationships for signs of drift or disengagement. Just as a business monitors customer satisfaction, we can check in with friends, colleagues, and partners to maintain strong connections. It's like being a gardener who notices when plants need attention before they start wilting. Second, implement value reinforcement in your important relationships. Periodically remind others of the unique value you bring to their lives, whether it's through your expertise, support, or friendship. This isn't about bragging, but about consciously maintaining the relevance and strength of your connections. It's like regularly demonstrating why your bucket is worth staying in. Third, develop an exit interview mindset when things do end. When relationships or commitments naturally conclude, seek to understand why. This feedback can help you identify patterns and make improvements for future relationships. It's like studying the holes in your bucket to better understand how to prevent future leaks. In conclusion, understanding churn helps us recognize that some loss is natural and inevitable, but also that we can influence its rate and impact. By actively managing relationships, reinforcing value, and learning from departures, we can build more resilient connections and systems. In a world where change is constant, this mental model helps us maintain what matters while adapting to natural cycles of loss and renewal. Thank you for joining me today on Mental Models Daily. Until next time, may your retention be high, your relationships be strong, and your understanding of natural cycles be deep. For more mental models, please visit mentalmodelsdaily.com or find us on X or Instagram. Our podcast music was provided by the podcasthost.com and Alitu, the podcast maker. Find your own free podcast music over at thepodcasthost.com/free music.